สวัสดีครับผมเดียวนะครับวันนี้ผมก็อยู่กับสุดยอดมือกีตาร์จ้านะครับคุณโจนาธาน Kreisberg Hi Joe
Hi, how you doing?
Thank you so much again for having you here in Thailand
Yeah. Sure, it's great
Maybe
to be here.
We talked together maybe 2 years ago Yes
Wow,
at
yeah.
Mahidol University
Yeah.
And now let me say something about your show last night is really excellent
Thank you.
Yeah.
We had a great
Okay.
time.
I saw your pedal board. You have a lot of your stumble.
Sure.
So today we will talk about your gear. The first question about your guitar.
Yeah.
How did you get the guitar?
It was a funny story. This
Yeah.
was, I was about maybe 16 years old, and my father said, I know this guy, and he has to leave America very quickly. Suspicious, you know? He wanted to get out of town. I didn't ask questions. And my dad said, go offer him some money, but not too much, because he needed to go. So I ended up getting the guitar for $800.
Wow.
Yeah. But this was 25 years ago, a long time ago or something, 20 years ago, yeah.
It's not second-hand guitar.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I mean, I got it from him. He didn't play it so much, so it looked brand new.
Oh yeah.
But now, of course, many years of me playing it, I did this, all that. You can see my favorite
Okay.
frets.
Yeah.
Practice. All this is from my arm.
Yeah.
Moving. You know, it's been around the world many times. Yeah.
So you mean you use this since you 16-year-old?
Since yeah.
Really
I
long
also
time.
had a Strat at the time, so I would play the Strat and I would play this for different situations. But eventually, this one just became my heart.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah. Okay. This is Gibson 175 years.
Yes, 175D. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move to talk about your gear.
Sure.
About your stumble for last night. Can you tell me you what's this you use?
Yeah, last night I had a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, let's see. I was using the first thing I go into is a micropod that has been modified.
Yeah.
So it has 2 channels, so that I can set one for something and another channel for something else.
Yeah.
Then I go into let's see, from there it goes into the Morning Glory, the JHS Morning Glory, which is a very transparent overdrive. It doesn't change.
Yeah.
And then from there I go into the Sparkle Drive,
Okay.
which is basically it's a modified tube screamer that has a clean blend.
Yeah.
So you can add some clean sound to it. And a lot of times I do combinations of those 2 pedals together.
Just like boost for the sound.
Yeah, it's kind of like, basically.
Yeah.
And then from there it goes into the volume pedal.
Yeah.
So at that point, I don't like to put the volume pedal, it needs to be after the distortion. Because if I have the volume knob before the distortion. So if I want to change the amount of distortion, I do with my volume knob.
Yeah.
But the overall volume, the master volume, is always with the pedal, the volume pedal. Because then the amount of distortion doesn't change. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you don't want to put the volume pedal after your delay and reverb, because then when you turn it off,
okay.
the delay and reverb disappears, right?
So-
A lot of young guitar players don't realize the order of the pedals is very important. You should always listen and experiment. For instance, putting a delay before a distortion pedal will make your delays distortion. Right?
Okay. Right.
But if you put the delay after, the delays are clean. And they both sound cool. It's just a different sound. You know what I mean? I prefer the delays clean. But sometimes certain guys like The Edge from YouTube, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes they experiment with
Yeah.
the delays distorted because it has a different kind of sound.
Really beautiful sounds.
Yeah. So after the volume pedal, then it goes into my freeze pedal.
Yeah.
Because I like to freeze also after the volume pedal. If it's before the volume pedal, then if I change my volume, the freeze note gets quieter.
Yeah.
But I want it to stay the same, so I can change my volume without changing the freeze. So the freeze goes after the volume. From the freeze, it goes into the delay pedal. Some people prefer reverb than delay.
Yeah.
I think for me it doesn't make a big difference, but I think I prefer the delays before the reverb.
Okay. Okay.
Because most people, they like to have, again, the delays more clean.
Yeah.
But I think when the delays go through the reverb, it makes it all sound more natural.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like when I play, it doesn't sound like, oh, there's his delay. You know?
Yeah.
I don't like
I know,
that.
I know.
I like it when it's more mysterious. The sound
Yeah.
is just like some type of mystery. But if it's like, what, you know,
yeah.
it's too mechanical. So to me, when I put it before the reverb, it creates a different feeling. And then the reverb splits
Okay.
to stereo. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
where
yeah.
I go stereo. The reverb is stereo, not the delays. Sometimes I experimented in the past with delays that ping-ponged or more stereo. To me, it just gets too complicated to the ears, you know. It's too, so I prefer just a straight delay, and then the reverb splits.
Just like follow your sound from your guitar. Just
Yeah. Oh, actually, last night I used one other thing. No, like after the delay and before the reverb, I put the Pog 2.
Oh yeah.
Which has some of the attack kind
Yeah.
of things, you know, which reminds me of Alan Holdsworth, you know, that's why I like that sound. You know?
I heard some sound you use from your Pog 2 like a octave.
That's the micropog.
Oh, yes, micropod.
Yeah. You can do this with the Pog too.
Yeah.
But I don't use the I
yeah,
use
yeah.
the micropog for the octaves, and I use the Pog 2 more for the attack
Yeah.
things, you know. I mean, you know, it's a certain sound. I mean, Rosenwinkel's been using it a lot.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But it's so fun to play with that sound, and it reminds me more, to be honest, of sounds that Alan Holdsworth. That's more what I'm trying to go for.
Okay.
You know? So I have to use it sometimes. It just has a certain thing I like, but I like it a little subtle, you know. But it's very. It changes the feeling of when you play. You know? It makes, you know, one of the problems I've always dealt with is trying to get a very balanced attack when I play, and I still think I can do that. But it's nice when you play with something where you don't have to worry at all about it.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
No matter how you attack, it's going to sound, you know. So, but you have to be careful. If you use it all the time, maybe it will change your touch.
Okay.
So, yeah, but it's very interesting technology that's coming out. It used to only be possible with synthesizers, like Alan Holdsworth with the Syntax,
Yeah.
you know, this kind of stuff. Now we can do stuff with pedals, you know. So another important thing I do is after I go to the reverb, I split, and one goes to my Fender Deluxe reverb.
Yeah. So for last night you used 2 amplifiers.
I always use 2 amplifiers, yeah, and usually I use a solid state and a tube.
Okay.
Yeah. So what I do is going to the solid state side.
Yeah.
I use
For last night you used polytone.
what I was going to say is I go through a pedal that I'm trying to remember the name of it, that Lele makes, L-E-H-L-E, called, I forgot the name of it.
Okay.
It's a good pedal, and it basically it serves as a ground lift, which is important because when you have 2 amps, you're going to get you need to lift that ground, and it also has a polarity switch to make sure the amps aren't phased, because if you're out of phase, it can sound thin and strange, you know. So that's a very useful pedal if you want to play in stereo. You need something like that. I mean, I used to really risk my life because I used to lift the ground
Okay.
on 1 amp. But if a lightning hit the building or something,
So
I could be dead.
that's why you don't have any noise from.
Well, I always have some noise because you have so much things.
Okay.
But, and then last night I was actually experimenting with another new pedal, which someone made in Germany. It's a prototype, and it's a polytone preamp in a pedal.
Yeah.
And I was using that to experiment with just tonal control, you know, as an EQ to really have a lot of control over the overall sound. I was putting that through both amps, and it sounded nice. It definitely did something, you know. But that's it. I'm carrying so many pedals that like I can't even bring that much clothes now on tour because it's very heavy, you know.
Yeah.
But Yeah, you know, I always think it's important to experiment with your sound, but it's also important to remember that that's not music. You know, you need to practice your music. That's the most important thing.
Okay.
And let it inspire you. Don't ever let it become like something that is a substitute for the music, right? The melody, the harmony, the rhythm. This is
the first thing.
This is the first things, and then the fourth thing is texture, right?
Okay.
And that's what this is about, you know.
Okay.
And the texture of your hands is important. You know, the way you play is first, you know, and then the sound is different, you know.
Yeah.
You know, you could hear yesterday I played this guy's Strat.
Yeah.
It still sounds like me, you know what I mean? Because you have to have a certain
The
touch
sound
of
from
your
your the sound from the steps like seem like when you play like a harmony. So it's from your hand.
It's from their hands.
Yeah.
Especially the right hand, right?
Okay.
That's part of it, yeah.
Okay. Maybe let's talk about your string. What string you use?
Yeah, I use John Pierce brand strings. Yeah, I've been endorsing them for many years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What's number?
Great sound.
Which number?
I changed the top a little bit. It's 52,
52.
40, 28, 21, and then the top two sometimes 15, 12, sometimes 14, 11, sometimes 14, 11 and a half, because they make an 11 and a half too. So I change a little bit those, yeah.
Okay. How about your pick? You still use
Yeah, the
DeAndre.
That's also my.
and cut it off.
Yeah, DeAndrea Proplec and cut the back off. Yeah.
Okay.
I like the size when it's more like a little smaller. You know? I feel like I can maneuver easier.
Okay. Thank you so much, Joe. For
Yeah, it was great to talk to you and
Okay.
to talk the gear.
Okay. Maybe the last one. Do you want to say something for your Thai fans?
I mean, I guess I could just say, first of all, thank you so much for coming out to the concert. We had such a great time playing. And secondly, I hope that to see you guys many, many times in the future. I love this country. I think it's such a colorful and warm and open-minded culture that it really one of my favorite places in the world to visit. And I hope that it continues. And I hope that the Thai people hold on to that, because they should know they have something very special, this warmth and this open-minded thing, and it matches with jazz very well. So I hope that you continue to cultivate this love for jazz music, and that we can spend some more time together in the future.
Thank you so much, Joe, for your time.
Yeah, great to see you. Yeah.
โอเคนะครับนี่คือบทสัมภาษณ์เล็กๆน้อยๆครับเกี่ยวกับอุปกรณ์ของคุณโจนาธานไคลส์เบิร์กนะครับถ้ายังไงกีตาร์ไทยต้องขอบคุณกีตาร์พาราดีนะครับที่ให้โอกาสดีๆที่เรามานั่งคุยกับคุณโจนะครับแล้วรอติดตามดูว่าเทปต่อๆไปผมจะพาไปคุยกับใครนะครับเทปนี้ลาไปก่อนครับสวัสดีครับ